Duuuval. Jacksonville Jaguars. Duuuval. Right? Trevor Lawrence, the man. I think he's going to put himself in the top 5 quarterback talk this year. I think he's going to really tear it up. I think that the addition of Calvin Ridley and Evan Ingram coming back, I think that's going to help that offense so much, as well as Christian Kirk and Travis Etienne. I think that offense is going to kill it. I think their defense is only going to get better as time goes. I think they were a good defense last year. I think they can continue that this year.
Well, first of all, definitely I'll agree with you on the offense. Trevor Lawrence showed us exactly what he could be now that the Urban Meyer disaster was over with. Lawrence stepped up. He was the guy that we all thought he was, led the team to a playoff victory. And how about the surprise that Christian Kirk and Zay Jones were? We all kind of laughed at them for giving these guys a bunch of money, but they performed. They did good. Evan Ingram just earned himself a big contract now. It was all well-deserved, and now very curious to see what Calvin Ridley does. He's been out of the league for a little bit, so that's my one concern with him, but he could really help evolve this offense even more. Etienne is still there. He performed very well last year after missing his rookie year. So last year kind of was his rookie year, so he was good for a rookie. And the one thing, though, the one concern I have with the offensive line, with the offense, I got ahead of myself, is the offensive line. If the offense struggles at all this year, it is going to be because of this offensive line. It is terrible. They have a complete disaster at the tackle situation with Cam Robinson on the verge of a suspension. And then they lost Taylor, another one of their offensive linemen, to free agency. Weren't able to sign him back. This is going to be a challenge without any good tackles. They've drafted a rookie in the first round, so obviously we'll see what pans out there. Maybe he becomes a stud and gets his team back to the playoffs. But I'm very concerned about this offensive line. Defensively, I'm going to disagree with you, Chad. Their defense is really bad. Trevor Lawrence had to go off late in the year to carry this team through offensive shootouts because the defense wasn't able to get the stops. That is what ended their season against the Chiefs, despite Mahomes getting hurt and old-ass Chad Henne going in there. They were still not able to get stops and get off the field to get Trevor Lawrence back on the field. And I don't really think they did enough upgrades here. I really don't think they did. Josh Allen is a stud at defensive line, but Trayvon Walker did not produce as the number 1 pick. It's crazy to think if they drafted Aiden Hutchinson instead, I think the Jaguars may have made the AFC Championship last year. But they didn't, and Walker has to step up. Devin Lloyd, the other first-round pick, also has to step up. Matt, what are your thoughts? Because I feel like I've been long-winded here.
You have been long-winded. So I think their receivers are actually kind of up there. I wouldn't put them on the same tier as the Bengals or the Dolphins or anything like that, but they're actually solid, like very, very solid. They got 2 number 1s and a number 2.
Yeah.
And a number 3, I guess. But they don't have really anybody behind any of them. So if any of them gets hurt, they're going to be relying on Evan Ingram, some of their tight ends to step up and get more targets. ETN, going to have a great year. They got Tank Bigsby coming in, also in rotation. Justin, I'm going to disagree with you on the offensive line. Walker Little is still really good. And Brandon Scherf is maybe old, but he's still really good. Anton Harrison, the fact that they knew about Cam Robinson right before the draft was like saving grace, because otherwise they would not have been able to get a tackle until like way, way, way later. So the fact that Anton Harrison, despite being a slight reach where he was taken, I think that kind of fell into their laps. So I think they're going to be solid on the offensive line. But Justin, like you said, it is their weakness. Defensively, I think Trayvon Walker is kind of figuring out the NFL. I think the fact that it was his first year, brand new head coach setting everything up in the system for the first time. Had there been an established coach, I think he probably would have done a little bit better. But I think he's gonna get a few more sacks this year. To me, he seems more like a run stopper than anything. But Josh Allen is still there. They got Smoot back. They have a few pieces, but other than that, they are a little thin on defense, especially in the secondary. I think it's going to be a lot of shootouts, but in a weak division, they can definitely take care of it. And they got Brandon McManus kicking long balls.
Big shout out to Doug Peterson there too.
Yeah.
What he did with that team last year was huge.
Yeah, Doug Peterson did not forget how to coach.
No.
Good.
So it turns out that he is better than Frank Reich. It was not Frank Reich the reason why they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Showed that.